Hello everyone, thanks for stopping in today. Today we are going to do the infamous coloring of the dreads. So I thought I'd bring you along with me on this journey and kind of show you how I do it. Got all my necessary items here. I'm actually going to do it today in my sewing room, so I'll see you in a little bit once we get started. Great! Alright, and these are the necessary items that I need for doing the color on my hair. Normally I do my hair near the vanity, but today I'm going to do it in my sewing/office. So I've got a tarp for today, believe it or not, a drop cloth, because neat is not my middle name. I have the shower caps that I use to put over my hair after I've colored it, so while it's processing I can add a little extra heat. I have several pairs of the gloves. I have clips that I need to use when I separate and have parts of my hair done, and you'll see why I use the clips. The Vaseline is a must. It is a total must. I put this around my hairline. Again, like I said, I'm not the neatest person in the world, so this actually goes down my neckline, over my shoulders, on my ears, just to kind of help clean up just a little bit. Mixing bowl brush, a couple of old towels. Today I have a mirror out here in the office since that's where I'm going to be doing it. The color that I use is the Ion color. I get this from Sally's Beauty, and this is in the richest reds. I was also using an intensifier, but it made the red really dark. So the last time I was there, I told them I wanted a more vibrant red, something a little brighter but still really pretty in color. And she had recommended, the salesperson had recommended the Protein Color Filler. It's in the number 10, red, and I do like the results on that. I've got my 20 Sensitive Scalp Developer, my little measuring cap, a couple of old towels, like I said, mirror, and then today, for today's purposes, I've got a drop cloth that I'm going to be putting down in the office. So these are the items that I use to get started, and let's go. Alright, and the first thing we do is take the hair down, of course. Now I haven't maintenanced my hair in a while, so I am literally going to have to go through, and pull apart the roots. Normally, when you're doing the maintenance on them, this will already have been done. And basically what you're doing is, as the hair grows out from the roots, what happens is it just kind of grows together. And so instead of little separate dreads, you can kind of get one big dread. Since I want to keep all mine separate, I'm going through, and where you can see that they've just grown together, you just tug. This is probably the most painful part of dreads, is the separating, because you do literally need to just tug and pull them apart. And again, this is where the clips come in handy, because you can kind of separate the hair by what you've already done, by what still needs to be. Ow. And yeah, there's a lot of ows. Alrighty, now that I've got my hair separated and all my dreads are pulled apart, we will go ahead and start mixing up the color, and we'll get going on this puppy. Alright, and the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take a whole tube of the Ion Brilliance and mix that with a half a bottle of the Protein Fiber. And we'll get that all squoze out here and continue. Alright, we've used a whole 2.5 or 2.05 ounce tube of the Precious Reds. We're putting in 2 ounces of the Developer. and we are going to mix this together. It takes a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and mix it up, and I'll be right back. Alright, I kind of mixed it up, just got the chunks out of there, make it nice and smooth. So you can kind of completely mix up the dye with the developer. And then I'm going to take the bottle of the Color Protein, and you use half a bottle. So I'm just going to pour the rest of what I have in here. Alright, we've emptied the half bottle in here. Now we're going to mix that up. I've already applied the Vaseline to my forehead, my ears, my neck. Like I said, I'm not the neatest person, so I kind of put it everywhere. And just to prove my point, I feel like I'm in an episode of Dexter right now. I have laid plastic down to avoid any possible messes here. So we're going to mix that up really good, and then I will start applying that and show you how we do it. Alrighty, and put you a little farther back there so you didn't have to get any extreme close-ups. I did take out the dreads that I was going to take out in the front. Unfortunately, some of the extreme close-ups were even scary for me to look at, so I deleted that. But I do have a couple more that I may want to take out in the back. And when I go to do those, I'll show you those. Alright, so basically what we do is we start in the front. Okay, so what you do is you start out separating, just like you would, coloring normal hair. And you just start, of course, with your roots. Always start with the roots as if you were doing it without dreads. And you're going to pull them over one dread at a time and do the underside. And there's the first of many messes. So basically painting both sides of the root and partly down the dread. In some ways it's a little easier than if you were doing just regular hair with nothing in it, because you can kind of gauge what you've covered once you pull each dread over, and you kind of know where you're at. I have a lot of loose flyaway hairs at the roots, as you can see. It's because my dreads are due to be tightened up, and that is a whole nother video that I'll be tackling once I get the color done. I didn't want to do it before the color because Alrighty, and we've done the roots. I had to empty out my SD card, so while I did that, I went ahead and finished up the roots. Had to go into the other room to see the back of my head. Now I've got them separated. I don't know if you can see that or not. I have it separated into 3 awesome sections, as you can see. So now what we're going to do, the roots are done. I'm going to let them sit for a little bit, and then I'm going to go through and do each dread individually. And of course my hair keeps getting longer, and so at some point I may have to make and mix more color. But I will show you. That's why coloring with dreads is a little bit more time consuming than just coloring your hair, because you have to now go back in and do each dread individually. And the brush really doesn't work, so you pretty much take the color on your hand and you're going to go through and do each dread individually. And I'll show you what I'm going to do, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. Alrighty, so what I'm now going to do is you're going to take each dread by itself. You're going to take some of the color and you're going to actually paint down. And then, like I said, you're just going to basically, this is where it gets really messy, really sloppy, is you're going to take and just take the color right on down the dread with your hands and kind of squish it in. People do theirs differently. This is just how I have found to get mine to go evenly throughout the whole dread and all the way from top to bottom. And this is where it gets really messy, like it hasn't already. And literally what I'm doing is just getting the color on my fingertips and then pulling it through and squishing it into the dread from root to tip. And that's pretty much what I do. As you can see, I've got it sectioned off just to kind of keep my dreads separate so I know which ones I've done and which ones I haven't. I mean, you would think, oh, wet one's done, dry one's not so much. But when you've got, I've got 65, almost 70 dreads, I think, in my hair. So after a while of doing this, you kind of lose track. So it's nice to keep them in sections so you kind of see what you're doing and what where you're at in the project here, because and it's definitely a project. All right, I'm not going to bore you with each individual. And as you can see, when I say messy, I mean messy. So what I'll do is finish up, get each dread in there, get the shower cap on, wait my allotted time, and then I don't do well holding my head under the sink for great lengths of time, so I'll just be showering and rinsing it all out that way. Seeing as how it is red, it's a cold shower, because red just tends to fade out a little bit faster. Warmer water makes it rinse out a lot quicker. So when I go to rinse them, it's a cold rinse. So needless to say, it's a shocker. It's a cold shower, as they say, and definitely keeps you awake and on your toes. All right, I'm gonna finish this mess up, and I will show you the finished product when we're all done, unless I decide to stop in during the timing process and chat with you while I'm working, doing whatever I'm doing here. So I'm gonna take another glove off. Needless to say, I brought out more gloves because this is, like I said, quite messy, and we don't want to be getting it on the camera as it is. I was splashing, and I'm hoping that it's not on the walls. I have to check. All right, talk to you in a little bit. Alrighty, we've worked it all the way through the dreads. I'm just gonna throw this up under a shower cap now and let it set for about 40-45 minutes, and we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, and while I've got the beautiful head shower cap on, this is where I take the time to go ahead and wash off all the dye that's gotten everywhere on me. Like I said, I'm not the neatest person. It kind of looks like a scene from Dexter in here with the tarp, the plastic, and the red dye. Oh geez. Okay, I'm just going to clean up a little bit, clean myself up a little bit, probably work out or watch videos while I'm waiting for my hair to process. Thanks for hanging around with me. Thanks for staying. And I hope you found this a little bit interesting, maybe a lot of interesting, hopefully. Hopefully it was fun. I know I had fun doing it with you guys for a change instead of just by myself. It's kind of nice having other people around while you're trying to do something. So anyway, I'm going to let this sit for about 40-45 seconds. Then I'm going to take the shower to rinse it off. And then I'll dry my dreads and I'll show you the finished product. Alright, I have showered, I've washed my hair, rinsed it. A couple things you do with dreads is you kind of make sure you get all the water out. Another thing you do is after you've taken your hair out of the towel, you take a dread, and what I do is I just kind of squeeze and roll all the way down. That helps get out the rest of the excess water, and it also helps to straighten the dread so that you aren't sitting there with a kinked or curled dread. The other nice thing is it makes it nice and uniform. And you just kind of, you can go through and do every one. It's a job, or you can just kind of pick the ones that you can see right off the bat that are kind of kinked up from being in the towel, and you just kind of take them and squeeze and roll. Like I said, it helps get out some of the water if there's water still in there, and it also helps straighten the dread out because you're pulling down at the same time that you're rolling it. And that can kind of get water everywhere as well. Alrighty, I am going to go ahead and finish blow drying this, and then we'll get an up close and personal with the top of my head and my dreads and see how the color turned out. Awesome. Awesome's my favorite word. Alright everybody, this is the finished product. It is definitely a process. It definitely takes me some time to do. I think it's just one of the reasons why I put it off and push it to the point where it's either do it or it's going to be bad, real bad. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today and doing my color, and I hope you learned a few things along the way today. Hopefully you got some information and maybe a few tips on how to and what to do and how maybe to do it differently. This is the color. Hopefully it's showing up there. I've got a light on so that we could kind of see it. So I'm hoping you can see it. If not, I'll try to get a snapshot to throw in on my Dread Journey video that I'm working on now. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Hit the like button. I'm going to be doing my maintenance dreads now, and my maintenance videos now that we've colored the hair. Nice thing is we've already got the separation at the roots done. So from here we'll be tightening up the roots, we'll be going through the dreads themselves and making sure that nobody is zigzagging and looping on me. And then we're going to be doing the ends. As a matter of fact, I think what we're going to do is I'd like to have a survey. Let me know if you prefer just the freestyle ends where they just kind of do what they want, or if you prefer the rounded off and blunted ends. I've got a little of both in my hair right now, and since it's been a while since I've maintenanced, most of them have gone to the freestyle where they're just kind of feathery at the bottom. So kind of give me a yes to the leaving them be, or yes to blunting them off and rounding them off and kind of giving them a finished look. Maybe it'll be viewer survey will determine what I do with my ends. So again, if you want to be a part of the maintenance videos, please hit subscribe so that when I do get those done, you'll be the first one to see them. Again, also let me know whether you prefer freestyle fuzzy ends or the blunted ends. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. And I guess before we go, I'll give you a 360. Excuse me, ma'am. All right. That was how we color my dreads. So if you've got some better tips you've got easier tips, please don't hesitate to leave the comments down below. I'm always open to doing something a little differently or a little easier. So thanks for stopping in. Thanks for taking this ride with me today on my coloring journey, and hope to see you in the next videos. Have a great day. Bye-bye.